Of a young man on a North York basketball court. It's been just over 2 weeks since 18-year-old William Jr. Appiah was shot and killed in the Jane and Finch area. Security video from the aftermath of the shooting showed 3 men walking toward the basketball court. Tonight, Appiah's family is pleading for the killers or killer to surrender to police.
To all our young men in Toronto to please leave the guns and leave the drugs alone. Guns will not get you anywhere in life.
That's what Appiah's family stresses William Jr. was not a drug dealer or part of any gang. Visitation takes place Sunday at the DeMarco Funeral Home on Keel Street.
I want to appeal to the killers of my son to please come forward and surrender to the police. We have forgiven you for what you did to our son. Our son is in a better place now. We just want you to know that we miss him daily. We want to clarify that Junior was not a drug dealer and or belonged to any gang.
How's it been for you and your family?
It's not easy. It's not easy, but with your support, I believe I'm getting.
You said you forgive the people who did this?
Well, what can I say? That's how we forgive people. So I believe in forgiveness. Jesus Christ forgive us all our sins.
2 weeks ago, William Jr. Appiah was gunned down on a basketball court in northwest Toronto. Tonight, his father is calling on whomever pulled the trigger to own up. Michelle Chung has this story.
Nana Appiah has returned to this spot every day for the past 2 weeks, where his son took his last breath. He says it's part of a tradition in his native country of Ghana.
That is our culture. If somebody dies, where they kill the fellow, even if it's accident in the bush, we go there to pay tribute every day until we bury the fellow.
Today, Appiah invited the media along so he could appeal directly to the killer to give himself up.
We have forgiven you for what you did to our son. Our son is in a better place now. We just want you to know that we miss him daily.
This woman, Marcia, heard the shots that day, ran out and tried to revive the teen.
Can't sleep. Just keep seeing him all the time.
The 18-year-old victim, known as...
For justice from the parents of a Toronto teen shot to death on a basketball court.
Police know someone saw who killed William Jr. Appiah. It happened in broad daylight under the watch of surveillance cameras. CTV's John Musselman reports.
He is a father in pain, but also a man of deep faith who is willing to forgive the person who murdered his son.
It's not easy.
Today, Nana Appiah kneeled beside the basketball court near Jane and Finch, where his 18-year-old son, Junior, was gunned down last month. A small memorial marks the spot.
I want to appeal to the killers of my son to please come forward and surrender to the police.
He's been coming here literally every day, standing here. He will bring candles after candles. So I try to pull him out of here, and I say, you have to let go.
Junior Appiah died from multiple gunshot wounds. He was playing basketball with friends when it happened. This woman who lives nearby found him lying on the ground. She performed CPR, but it was too late.
Can't sleep. Just keep seeing him all the time.
Investigators released this surveillance video from a nearby building. It shows 3 men at the top of the screen running from the court minutes after the shooting. The video has been posted on YouTube in hopes that witnesses will come forward. Appiah's father says his son had a minor brush with the law, but he says he was not involved with drugs, gangs, or guns. The grief-stricken father just wants justice for his family. To determine the motive for this murder, the 3 men were seen fleeing in a silver Accord. The funeral for the victim will be held on Monday. Reporting live, I'm John Musselman. I'll send it back to you.
Come forward and surrender to the police. We have forgiven you for what you did to our son.
Nana Appiah prays every day at the spot where his son, 18-year-old William Jr. Appiah, was shot to death September 16.
the lady who sat on him, tried to give CPR for a while.
Tried to give him CPR, but it didn't work. Can't sleep. I keep seeing him all the time.
The teenager was killed in a brazen daylight shooting on a basketball court near Jane and Finch. Homicide detectives have put security camera video from the area up on YouTube, hoping younger members in the community might recognize the suspects and phone in their tips. Security video from a nearby building shows 3 suspects walking toward Appiah just moments before he was killed. 45 seconds later, the same 3 run the other way.
There's no question in my mind these people went up there with Junior Appiah in their mind and deliberately killed him.
Police have been getting lots of tips, but because the suspects were wearing hoodies, they still need someone to clearly identify them.
To all our young men in Toronto, to please leave the guns and leave the drugs alone.
Nana Appiah adjusts the bouquets of flowers at his son's memorial set up beside the basketball court where the teen was killed. He's asking for those who shot his son to come forward, but he says he harbors no resentment towards them.
I believe in forgiveness. Jesus Christ forgive us all our sins.
Appiah says he also hopes for any other information people from the community can give, so if the suspects don't turn themselves in, police can be pointed in the right direction. At Jane and Finch, Katie Franzios, CFRB News.